Όπως σας είπαμε, θα δείτε ευθύς αμέσως μια συνέντευξη με τον Υπουργό Εξωτερικών των Σκοπίων. Ο Αντώνη Μιλοσόσκι είναι μόλις 32 χρονών, Υπουργός Εξωτερικών από το καλοκαίρι. Οι νέοι φάκελοι είχαν προσπαθήσει να έρθουν σε επαφή μαζί του. Πριν όμως από λίγες μέρες μας τηλεφώνησαν και μας είπαν ότι είναι έτοιμος να μιλήσει. Ενδεχομένως, γιατί σε λίγο καιρό θα είναι εδώ στην Αθήνα ο ειδικός μεσολαβητής του ΟΗΕ, ο Μάθιου Νίμιτς, και ενδεχομένως για τα Σκόπια περιμένουν ραγδαίες εξελίξεις σε αυτό το θέμα της ονομασίας. Πάμε να δούμε τη συνέντευξη της Σοφίας Παπαγιάννου.
Ο Υπουργός Εξωτερικών της πρώην Ιουγκοσλαβικής Δημοκρατίας Μακεδονίας, ο Αντώνη Μιλοσόσκι, είναι μόλις 32 χρονών. Διορίστηκε υπουργός το 2006 στην κυβέρνηση Γκρουεύσκη, μια κυβέρνηση με μέσο όρο ηλικίας τα 35 χρόνια. Σπούδασε νομικά στη χώρα του και σήμερα συνεχίζει τις σπουδές του στις πολιτικές επιστήμες στη Γερμανία.
I've heard that you are a PhD candidate in a university in Germany,
Yes.
and your thesis is on the name issue of your country.
The thesis is Macedonia and Greece, relations after the end of the Cold War. My approach in the thesis is that both countries have already established very strong bridges of communication, cooperation, that they cannot be dramatically and essentially disturbed by still remaining open issue over the name.
So if you do believe so, why don't you find a compromising solution to the name issue?
It is an asymmetric dispute because we are not requiring from Greece to change its own name, but Greece is pressing us to change our name. Greek position says we should find a compromise for the whole world, for the international scene. Our position is that no other capital in the world except Athens has problem or dispute with our constitutional name, and therefore we are saying we are as well prepared for a compromise, but let's do it in a dimension that exists. The dispute exists on a bilateral dimension, and we are willing to consider this kind of compromise on a bilateral level.
But if there are negotiations with three parties, Fyrom, Greece, and another country, which is the name that is going to be used?
We could have one annex explaining what country has a dispute and what's that about and what's the bilateral communication, but every other country should be allowed to use our constitutional name.
But you understand it's difficult to happen. You do understand the problem of that.
I think that it happens to a certain extent in some, for example, in NATO.
Why then you don't accept the name New Macedonia, since this is a name that we don't understand why that name can really be an obstacle to your stability? Why you don't accept this name?
As I have said, if we agree with our Greek friends that we are speaking about bilateral dimension of the solution, then we can open a frank and honest discussion.
Would you accept New Macedonia as the name of your country?
As I have said, the name of my country is Republic of Macedonia, and that's what we are using in the last half century and more, and it is the name that damages no one. I want to add, when we are speaking about good neighbor relations, there is no better step to invest in the good neighbor relations than recognizing the right of your smaller neighbor to use its own constitutional name.
But on a political level, if you stick with the name Republic of Macedonia, that first of all will create a confusion with the Greek Macedonia. And then we go to all this adjective. We say Macedonian wine. What will happen with this wine? What will be the name used?
I think that the wine issue we could easily solve with having one wine session between Macedonian and Greek politicians.
Well, that's if we are good neighbors, then we can have many sessions.
But in respect of the name of the Greek northern province, which was renamed in 1988 from northern Greece to province of Macedonia and Trachea.
But it is the ancient Macedonia is there.
Well,
nobody disputes that.
Yes, neither we. Till now, in these 16 years of our independence, no one has ever expressed a concern from the international fora that he or she or some institution that they do have a problem with the differentiation, because it's very clear that our determination goes with the determination of a state, Republic of Macedonia, and that's very clear.
Is there any other name that you would accept?
We should first find a mechanism. What are the what is the framework of the dispute. If we do agree that the framework of the dispute is a bilateral, then we could start an open, direct Greece-Macedonia negotiations and see what's possible and what's not possible.
But you know that Greece does not accept this bilateral name resolution of the name issue.
I think that we still do have a chance to try once again.
When you renamed your airport under the name of Alexander the Great, was that a step towards that direction?
We could, let's say the same in respect of the renaming of the airport in Thessaloniki, which was till then Airport Micro and became Airport Macedonia. But however, the difference is in the approach. We are prepared to share the heritage of this rich historical past of our common region, because if we speak about historical personalities like Alexander the Great, their greatness goes beyond one national border.
Well, of course, we have an airport which is called Macedonia. Nobody can dispute that we can call our airport Macedonia.
That's the difference. When Greece is willing to share the brand of Macedonia as a name of institutions or airports or whatever else, we are not disputing this. No one should have a monopoly over the name. And therefore, when the airport in Thessaloniki was renamed, we did not react angrily or we did not dispute this.
Do you understand why Greece reacts?
We have understand why Greece is reacting in such a way, but we would have been more pleased if this historical person has really that kind of essential and great importance for the Greek people. They could have, or the officials could have said, well, thank you very much for expressing gratitude and respect to a person being of a great importance for our Greek history.
It's difficult for a Greek person to understand that you want to share these historical figures, and the impression that you give is that you want to steal these historical figures from our history with cases like that, what you did with the airport. And if we also observe the textbooks that you use in your schools, there are some irredentis cases in these textbooks, and there is this issue of the Greater Macedonia that really is an obstacle to all these negotiations for Greece.
We are prepared to go forward and to have a mutual educational historical committee. Both sides to delegate experts and professionals in this direction, and they to be able to go through all books in our or in the Greek curricula. We have declared openly what we want with Greece is to have a friendly, long-term, stable relations. And the philosophy of these relations that we are willing to promote is according to the proverb «Κάνε καλό για να δεις καλό».
Πριν από μερικά χρόνια επισκεφτήκαμε ένα γυμνάσιο στο κέντρο των Σκοπίων. Η δασκάλα μας έδειξε το σύγχρονο χάρτη της χώρας της. Πάνω όμως από το μαυροπίνακα, ανάμεσα σε σκοπιανούς ήρωες, βρισκόταν κρεμασμένος ο χάρτης της Μεγάλης Μακεδονίας που περιλαμβάνει περιοχές από την Ελλάδα και τη Βουλγαρία. Μείναμε έκπληκτοι με τις απαντήσεις των μαθητών στην ερώτηση πού τελειώνει η χώρα τους.
I think that at the Mountain Olympic and the Halkidik.
I think that is till Larissa.
Your country, you believe, ends in Larissa?
Yes.
Some years ago, I went to a school here, and I asked the kids where their country ends. And all the kids told me names that exist in Greece. They told